Here we are for a movement practice. This movement practice is going to be really short. It's a short one just designed to turn on your ab muscles. So when we're talking our ab muscles, we have the abdominis rectus. Those are the six-pack abs. Those are the superficial abs that most people train when they want to get that defined ab look. But more importantly, we have the transverse abdominis, which are under the abdominis rectus. And the transverse abdominis are harder to train. Our movements look more subtle because they're deep, whereas the others are superficial. So when we're working these deep muscles, these are the muscles that are connecting with your psoas, the muscles that are coming up through your, like the hip flexors or what people call them. And they're also connecting with the internal obliques. We have the external obliques and the internal obliques. So internal obliques, psoas and TVA is what sometimes, or very commonly, the transverse abdominis are called. So this movement is to kind of wake up the TVA. The TVA go to sleep when we get pregnant because they have to. If they stay really taut, we're not going to be able to extend our belly to grow the baby. So this practice is going to be really, really crucial to women who've had babies, no matter how postpartum you are. If you never went to retrain your TVA, you will need to start at this step one, training the TVA to turn on, so that the TVA will be turned on when you're doing all your motion throughout all of your day, and it will become second nature. And then we can start working with the abdominis rectus, the superficial ab muscles. So let's get started. So we're going to start by just learning to breathe. So we want to make sure when we're breathing, when we're working our core, we're not taking belly breath. Belly breath is more for the relaxation, for balancing out your central nervous system. So if we're feeling like our heart rate's a little high, or we're doing restorative yoga or meditation, we're going to do belly breath. We're going to do 3-part breathing, where we're going to be sending our breath in through the belly, the chest, and then upwards. But this breath, when you're working your core, we're not going to be really ever extending our belly out because we're trying to keep the muscles tight. So we're going to start with just closing our eyes, placing your hands wherever you're comfortable, and see if you can notice your exhale. Let's really focus on the exhale. And notice how the exhale has this letting go aspect. So see if you can let go of all of your breath. And then on your inhale, see about sending your breath up your central channel, all the way up, imagining your central channel as your spine, all the way up through the crown of your head. The bun is kind of like perfectly located. This is the crown of the head. I always put my hair way up on the top of my head because when I'm laying on my back for Pilates, I don't want my hair there. So it's kind of the perfect idea of this is the very top. We're sending our breath all the way up so that the crown is reaching and my belly is tightening. On the exhale, I'm going to get even tighter on the belly. So now I'm going to drop shoulders, knit ribs, knit lower ribs especially, and start to crunch the abs. So this is one of those kind of isometric exercises. We can inhale. We're not blowing up the belly, but we're allowing the belly to receive some breath, but mainly for extension. And then on the exhale, belly knits back together as the ribs knit back together. So there's this tightening, and then there's a lifting of the pelvic floor. There's the Kegel muscle. Remember, your pelvic floor is like a basket. The fibers can be spread out like this, and then they can be really nice and tight. I actually want to rephrase that. They can be too tight. Okay, it's also very common to have too tight. And so we're trying to get that sweet spot between. Okay, so we want to open the core, inhale, and then exhale, tighten the core. And I even get kind of like a little chills when I do that. Inhale and exhale, tightening. 2 more. Inhale, feel yourself rise. Exhale, feel yourself let go and harvest that vitality. So you rose, and then you get to reap the rewards of that energy coming towards your body. You can seal it up and hydrate your cells and even get some strength from that. Okay, so now we're going to lay down. So you can hear the little whiny dog. I'm still babysitting that dog, and I don't want her to take over the video. So now she's in there, she's just going to whine. Actually, I want to sit this way today. Okay, so the first thing I want to even talk about is getting down onto the ground. We want to be really mindful whenever we're transitioning. When we're getting down into the ground to be turning on the TVA, we want to make sure that we're helping TVA, because I'm imagining it's not really working right now. So if I were to just go down, What's actually going to be working is my lower back muscles. And then I hear people complain about lower back pain, or maybe not every day, but if they start to do strenuous activity, the lower back will hurt. So see how I'm going down? I'm using my sides. I'm like kind of rocking my way down so I can get down to my forearms and elbows. Making sure my feet are spread hip width distance and my knees are spread hip width distance. What could really help here is sometimes putting something between your knees. So if you have a ball or a block, I'm just going to do that. We're going to put this between the knees, because that can really help you find the TVA. So when you squeeze that, it helps you make contact with that very lowest point of your pelvic, basically your pelvic floor. Okay, now we're going to lower down all the way, and I'm lowering down with control. I'm using my muscles to help myself get down. My arms are going to go down by my side body, and I'm reaching my fingers toward my heels. Shoulders are rolled down away from the ears. And let's start with just the pelvic. Let's just start with breathing, actually. Breathing, where we're going to inhale, send the breath up the center channel, and then exhale, the breath relaxes. It starts to knit the ribs, and you can feel like I'm starting to contract my abs. So that's what I'm talking about with isometric exercise. Isometric exercise means you contract your body without any external force or weight. Inhale, let it rise. So you might have noticed I had like a little softening in my pelvis when I inhaled, because I'm receiving the breath up and in through my center channel. And then as I'm exhaling, I'm contracting, I'm letting go. I think of it as like wringing out a wet rag as I'm tightening and contracting all my muscles all the way down to my lower belly. One more inhale here. And exhale. Tighten. Now we're going to do the pelvic tilt. So the pelvic, this is like your pelvic bowl. So think about rocking your bowl like you're tipping the water out, or maybe this one's tipping it out. I don't know. I've heard that analogy before. But anyways, we're going to rock the boat. We're just rocking where we're going up to the top, like the top of your sacrum, and then we're pressing the tailbone down. So we're not lifting our hips up. All we're doing is getting this rock. And when you're exhaling, you're giving your pubic bone a lift up straight up toward the sky. And when you're inhaling, the tailbone's resting down, and you're getting that little tenting action of the lower back. Let's do that for 10. Nice. And then let's do a little bridge pose. So this time we're going to keep the hands down by the hips. Shoulders are working away from the ears, and the scapula are nice and flat. So back is strong. Arms are going to work as a crutch. We're going to press into the block, or maybe you have a rolled up towel here. That could work too. And you're going to press up and lift your hips, and then each sequential vertebra is going to lift up. You're going to keep your shoulders down, keep your hands pressing. Once again, those are like a crutch, so you're using your arms. I'm going to squeeze my butt when I'm at the top. Glutes are squeezing, because your glutes are part of your core. They're going to help you. And now I'm squeezing in my abs. I'm going to exhale to lower. I'm going to start with the upper back. And this is where I'm really trying to articulate. I'm rolling, curving my spine. And then I'm setting my tailbone down. Take an inhale here. And exhale, lift up. Squeeze. Same exhale. If you can, lower back down. If you cannot do that movement on one exhale, pause at the top. I'll demo that. So we're inhaling. Exhaling to lift up. Keep the squeeze. Maybe you need to inhale here. And then exhale, lower down. So you can be doing it that slow. And that's A-okay. Otherwise, we're inhaling here. And we're going up on an exhale. And down on an exhale. Inhale here. Exhale. Same exhale. Inhale. Exhale. For 5. Last one. Make sure you're squeezing your glutes at the top and squeezing whatever is between your legs and slowly lower it down. Nice. Now we're going to pick up the knees and the feet. Point your toes. Keep your knees over your hips so we have a 90-degree angle on our hips and a 90-degree angle at our knees. And then we're going to slowly keep the angle of the legs. The hip angle is going to open. We're going to tap the toes down and then lift the legs up. Tap the toes down. Inhale, lift the legs up. So we're exhaling when it's harder because we want to have a strong contraction in the abs. Inhaling when it's easier. Exhale down. Inhale up. Nice and slow. Now, if you have really sleepy TVA, your inner core muscles are very sleepy, be squeezing this ball with all your might. Feel your pelvic floor nice and tight. And if you feel opening or looseness or any kind of instability, lack of control, pain, you're not going to go down all the way. You're just going to do little baby steps. For 10. Okay, let's release the ball or the towel or whatever. Extend your legs straight, reach your arms out and stretch your body, tent your lower back. And then exhale. See how I'm going to roll my spine like I'm going to do a crunch. So I'm in a hyperextension position and I'm going to contract and I'm going to flex my hips in and I'm going to draw my knees toward my chest. Willow, it's okay. Do you guys hear that in the video? How much she's whining in the room? Okay, so the next one, keep the head and shoulders down. We're going to do the single leg stretch. We're going to reach one leg out. Inhale. And exhale, switch. Hear that victorious sound in the breath. That's your Ujjayi breath. We want to be having a strong breath going up and down the trachea. And 5. 3. Make sure your toes are pointed, your legs are very active. And last one on both sides. And 1, and finished. Both legs in, circle the knees. And double leg stretch. We're going to start in this position and then we're going to open. We're making that triangle shape with the hands. The heels are together, the toes are out. Exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Circle the arms nice and broad. Draw those knees towards your shoulders. Inhale, exhale out. The legs are only at an angle that works for you. Maybe they're all the way up here. Maybe they're just staying 90 degree with your hips. That's still doing effort. 4, 5. Squeeze your belly. You're sealing your belly on the mat. And last one. Okay, now we're going to have the legs just do this little like frog kick for 10. Keep the hands there. 9, 8, heels are together, toes are apart. Squeeze the belly back, hugging it back. The breath is passing up to the center channel on your inhale. Every exhale, you're getting tighter in the core. And 2, and 1. Draw the knees in. Circles. Great, now we're going to roll over to one side. We're going to finish off with the little clamshell. Okay, so we're on our side body. Our heels are together. We're bringing our knees, not like they're at a 45, our hips about a 45 degree angle. Picking up the ankles And then the hips are stacked. So our hips are perpendicular with the ground. We're not rolling back and we're not rolling forward. And we're going to do 20. We're squeezing our butt. We're trying not to move our pelvis, just the knee. And 10, 9. Keep hugging belly in. Hold your muscles towards your spine, supporting your lower back. 3, 2, and 1. Hold it up for pulse. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And let's switch directions. Press yourself up. Help yourself get up, especially when we're turning on our belly. We don't want to use the belly when we're going through these transitions. Let your arms and your legs help you transition. Help yourself get down. Support your head. We got a 60-degree angle or so in the hips. We're going to lift up our feet, heels together, toes apart, and we're going for 20. So even in this position, so now we're really stimulating those internal obliques. We want to make sure the internal obliques and the psoas are also hooking up to the tibia. And this full deep breath, tightening in your core, is stimulating the tibia too. So every motion we're doing is for making sure that we're safe in the rest of our movements. For 10, 9, 8, 7, 3, and 1. Hold it up, pulse for 10. Keep sucking the pelvis in. It's up and in and a tightening. It's not just a suck up. It's like it's a contraction. Every exhale, it's a deeper and deeper contraction. And relax your legs. Let's roll over to our belly. Take a sphinx position where you're stretching your belly muscles out. Relax your hips, wiggle it out. And then kick your heels towards your butt. Stretch out the quads. And maybe even take a moment to stretch one leg at a time. And press yourself into a child's pose. Knees apart, toes together, hips back. Reach your arms, tent up your fingers so your hands can walk forward. Drop your forehead down. And ragdoll out of that shape. Come back to your seated position, how we started, and thank yourself for taking the time to practice. Do something for you. Thank you.